Good morning, good day to you. Some call me Rev Kev. My name is Kevin, and it's great to have you on with me today. Our topic today, again, is staying clean and sober of addiction, and I've tried to explain this issue in the last couple of days, and we'll continue to unpack it for you. But as you already are very well aware, sin masks itself in different ways. Before we go any further, I just want to commit this time to God and also admit before God that we're not God and we need Him in our life. And as Carrie Underwood sings, it's kind of corny, Jesus take the wheel, but it actually is true. So she is a theologian all to herself. And I also just want to say I appreciate you coming for the journey and learning about who I am and learning a little bit about this topic and things that we have been pursuing in our life, trying to deflect the sin that pursues us, the addictions that come knocking. So we just want to stand firm and learn how to stand and learn to defend ourselves. Again, you will see that I didn't really mention substances themselves because the issue is not really the substance. The issue, and you may disagree, but the issue itself, it manifests differently. Our sin manifests differently. Each person, our sin looks different because we pursue what makes us happy. We put our work and our effort towards what makes us happy. Or, because two things can be true at once, or we're looking for relief. And the relief makes us happy. So whatever is giving us temporary relief is all but temporary. But at that moment, we're thinking in either side, whether we are pursuing what makes us happy or pursuing relief, numbness, which makes us happy, there's this moment that we negotiate and we say to ourselves, well, I earned it. I've been a good boy. I've been a good girl. It's been 4 or 5 weeks and I've not stumbled. I've not strayed. So now I'm going to dabble. I'm going to, dip my finger into something. And it may be images on the internet. It could be, gaming too much. It could be a substance. I sat with a fellow the other day and he'd said that he was 60 and that he'd spent the last 40 years chasing crack. And so he was stealing to get his supply, to get his drugs. And he said, I want to be clean, but I don't know what life is without trying to steal for drugs. And so what he is saying to himself, and I'm just sitting there and he's mirroring this to me, so he's mirroring it back to himself, is that he can no longer be passive, that there has to be something has to take place, that things are just not going to just sort of materialize for him and he's going to have a new life. He has to figure out a new normal. It is going to take time. It's not passive. And so, friends, as you know, there's no spell, there's no magic potion, there's no elixir that I can give you to keep you clean and sober of sin. We all need to center on Christ, and that's really why we're here. And sometimes we feel we're doing better at that when we're doing with another person where there's an oxytocin release. And we just really do want to fix our hearts and our minds on higher thoughts sometimes than our own thoughts. In Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 to 7, it reads, Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord, and turn away from evil. It will be a healing for your flesh and a refreshment for your body. Fearing the Lord, turning, it will be a healing for your flesh and a refreshment for your body. Those are powerful words this morning. It actually tells us that turning isn't passive. It's telling us the very act of turning is work. It's not theory. It's going from theory to practice. And as you well know, practice makes perfect. And again, the verse is not about drugs and alcohol. I like to always go back to Evagrius because he taught us that what's at risk is love. We get caught up in these thoughts and they materialize then in our lives as sin and they manifest as sin. Then what's at risk is our relationship with God, a relationship with being honest with ourselves, a relationship with our neighbor, and a relationship with the world. Evagrius was wise because he was following the Bible. We want to optimally learn to love better. The first of the deadly thoughts is what Evagrius called gluttony. And again, it is the first of 8 deadly thoughts. Gluttony, he was referring to alcohol. He was referring to the substance of alcohol when he talked about gluttony, the overconsumption. Thoughts 2 to 8 get progressively darker, and we're not going to talk about that right now, but I'm just not going to mince words with you. This is about life, and this is about death. This channel is serious. It's about giving ourselves a chance to be the people, the loving people that God created us and wants us to be. And I must confess that I was already hoping that many of you have already connected the dots between Evagrius of Pontus and the 8 deadly thoughts and Pope Gregory the Great and the 7 deadly sins. But it's okay, because if you haven't gone back into Google or you've not read up on the subject, it's totally okay. I do intend to unpack the topic in coming weeks. Some may question, like, well, where does this cheeky guy get his information, and can I trust this guy? And I just want you to know that my cheekiness is not part of my insecurity package. It's really who I am, and it's my sense of humor. Some folks may have questions about when I mentioned receipts, that I had receipts yesterday. And what I was referring to is that I have death certificates of people, precious people. I've sat, but I've also presided. I've been the officiant at the graveside. I've walked with families, done the whole funeral services, assisted. These are not jokes. It's not funny, even that I said receipts. These are people. God cares about them far more than you or I. And so I apologize if I might have offended anyone. So we just want to encourage people, one video at a time. We are like Carrie Underwood, theologians. If we study God and how he operates in our lives, and how he wants to operate in our lives, we are theologians. Where we're moving from theory to practice, where we're studying God with the approach of, I want to, learn and grow. I know that you've been told that if you don't have a degree, you're not a theologian. That's not true. It doesn't take a degree. You can ask the disciples about that. By the way, don't write theologian on your resume. It won't help you get a job. Now, we practically want to put theory and action together. Our faith in God is not passive. So for those of you who are married, or you want to be married, or you hope to stay married, you don't ignore your spouse or even your girlfriend who you want to marry, your boyfriend. You don't ignore them for 3 or 4 months, because you know what's going to happen, right? And that's not going to happen to us because because the thoughts of God are right on the tips of our tongue, on our mouth all day long. He is our first love. He is on our lips day and night. Even if we don't say his name, he's just there. In any minute, in a moment's notice, it could come out. He's taking the lead in our battle against sin and addictions of all kinds. Friends and onlookers, if you found the content of this short video to be helpful, meet your expectations, and I hope it would warrant your subscription and your like, but also you feel free to share it with people that you think it might be helpful with, so we can get it out to a broader audience. And we really appreciate you and hope that you have a great day. Take care and God bless.